reaction to it, and the government says it's going to be reviewing the decision. What do you take? Will comply, but it will review. What do you take from those comments?
Well, of course they have to comply. I mean, this is the Supreme Court of Canada. Review it. I don't know what the minister means. I am concerned that they have never understood nor wanted to understand what Insite actually is. That they always had on these ideological blinkers. I don't know that any Minister of Health ever actually visited Insite. I actually went to the health minister when she first became the minister and encouraged her to quietly go to Insite, no media, find out what it's about, talk to people. I'm not aware that she's ever done that. Even her response today where she's saying, well, we support prevention and treatment. I mean, Insite is part of that continuum. So I am concerned that either they deliberately or they actually just don't want to understand what this important public health service is about. So I think they have an opportunity here to show that they can take a pause based on the Supreme Court decision. And having read parts of the decision, I mean, it's a very hard decision. I mean, they have said very categorically that the Conservative government interfered with people's rights to access health care. These are amongst the most marginalized people in our society. So I think the Conservative government has a really important lesson to learn here, that it is about public health, it is about people's rights to health care, to get support and the help that they need and treatment and rehabilitation. And I really hope that the Minister of Health will use this as a moment to reflect and will come to that conclusion, because there may be other communities that want to come forward with similar proposals, and I don't want to see the federal government be a barrier and stand in the way of that.
What options do you think they have? I mean, what options do they have, and do you think, expect that they will look to restrict it from other communities?
Well, I haven't read the full decision, so my understanding is that based on the decision, that it's likely that if there were other facilities, that they would not need a Section 56 exemption. That I have to kind of go back and review that. But if that's the case, then I think it will be difficult for them to become a barrier to any other facility. But if other facilities did require a Section 56 under the Controlled Drug and Substances Act, then obviously that would involve the federal government directly. So I think they need to look at the decision and come to a conclusion that this, as the court has said, as everybody has said, whether it's academics, health professionals, studies over 24, that Insite is a very critical public health service. It's literally saved people's lives. And the minister, I mean, she's got to get that. This evidence is overwhelming. It can't be refuted.
Are you concerned that they might sidestep the health issue, the drug issue, and attack this in the sense that it's the first time that there's ever been a court ruling against the federal government in a federal provincial jurisdiction case like this?
Well, I mean, I think there are legal arguments, but fundamentally this case rested on the right of people to access fundamental health care. And I think that's the point that the minister has to get. That's what they cannot escape from. So I think it's a landmark decision. It's a very important decision. And, as I was standing at the Supreme Court today, I was really thinking of the many, many people who I've known who have died of drug overdoses, of the people who worked to come this far to keep Insite open. So it's been a really important victory, and I feel like people who often don't get heard did get heard today. So now, let's say to the federal government, do the right thing and recognize that Insite is part of the solution, it's not part of the problem.
They ceux qui utilisent des drogues.
Do you think there's any chance the government would be willing to use the notwithstanding clause on this, considering it was a Section 7 decision?
Yeah, I'm not going to speculate as to what they might do. I was struck by the minister saying that she was disappointed by this decision. And I think that's shocking, that she's disappointed by a decision of the Supreme Court of Canada to respect their evidence that says Insite saves lives. why is she disappointed by that? I mean, this place saves lives. That's clear and simple. So they need to accept this decision and move on.